In Louise Monroe Foley's The Mystery of Echo Lodge, you see from the viewpoint of a girl on a winter vacation at your Aunt Sadie's quaint ski lodge in the Sierra Nevada mountain range. You have to help run the place, but are excited at the prospect of learning to ski and riding some snowmobiles. You're met at the bus depot by an old man with wireframe glasses, a plaid jacket, and a cap with ear flaps. He quickly voices his displeasure at having to train another city kid and tells you to follow him to an old purple van. Thankfully, this strange old man with a van really was supposed to pick you up, or this book would have went in an entirely different direction right off the bat. His name is Russell, and he tells you that your aunt is going broke and that it's due to a curse he refers to as the Paiute Jinx. When you arrive, you're greeted by your aunt and another woman named Heidi, the Echo Lodge house detective and an ex-Interpol agent. Say your aunt can't be that broke if she has a detective on the payroll, but whatever. Also, Heidi is crabby as well. What is it with this place that everyone has a stick up their butt? The other odd thing about Heidi is that she's constantly changing clothes and wigs very quickly throughout the story. Right when you first see her, she is blonde in a red dress and then immediately switches to another dress and a black wig when she introduces herself to you. What the hell is going on here? As you meet Heidi, a fire alarm goes off and you run around banging on doors telling people to get out. You find a strange room during all this excitement, room 223. The room has a radio blaring, water running and flooding, and there's a gray hawk inside ready to attack. After the bird attack on you, the radio goes quiet, the fire alarm stops, and the hawk is gone. You can tell Russell about what happened and show him the small bone that you found in the room along with a hawk feather, and he will tell you about the Paiute Jinx. He explains that a shaman is out to destroy Echo Lodge because it encroached on Paiute land. He asks for your help to destroy the shaman and save the lodge. If you decide to work with Russell, you learn that the bone you found is a piece of a rattlesnake rattle and that you've been marked for death by the shaman. You can help him climb a mountain to perform a ceremony to burn the rattle. Or maybe you decide that climbing a mountain at night in December is stupid. If you do go with him, he'll tell you a story of the Lover's Leap and how they fell to the very place that Echo Lodge stands on now. As you build a circle to start a fire, you notice the gray hawk staring at you, and from here you can either make choices that lead you to ending the Paiute Jinx or one of several less happy endings. The B story revolves around yourself and Heidi attempting to foil a competitor from destroying your aunt's lodge by faking the Paiute Jinx. In other words, the old Scooby-Doo trick. This can involve various scenarios, one of which is a traitor employee in the kitchen drugging the guests and robbing everyone. You can find yourself in a situation where you foil the bad guys in the kitchen with the help of some of the kitchen staff. You can also discover a plot to destroy the lodge via avalanche and set out to stop the men responsible. The avalanche can also be caused by the shaman in the other storyline, depending on what choices you make. The B story branch is not as interesting as the other path and is also home to several groan-inducing one-liners on various endings. Even though there is plenty of action going on in this branch, it's clear that the path of there being an actual Paiute Jinx is the real story in this book. Some of the endings you might encounter in this one are ending the Paiute Jinx as Russell's spirit animal wins a battle against the gray hawk, being ran over in a hit and run, and winding up in the hospital as your aunt's lodge goes out of business and is bought by the people that drugged the guest. Trying to jump out of a moving truck onto a car but missing your target and flipping over a guardrail, flying down onto the canyon floor. The plus side is that in this ending your aunt's competitors go out of business, so her problems are over, and as the ending says, so are yours. Saving Heidi's life by releasing chickens all over the road so she is able to escape her kidnappers. She mentions that chicken is for dinner that night and you suggest pizza instead. Failing to do your part in the ceremony to end the curse and then finding 2 rattlesnake rattles outside your room the next day as Russell tells you you'd better do it tonight, if you live long enough to have another chance, that is. Killed in an avalanche as the gray hawk circles the sky. Kidnapped in a boat on Lake Tahoe, you wind up drowning in its icy waters of swift hypothermia. Choking to death on a rattlesnake rattle. Finding ghosts on Emerald Island after escaping the kidnappers. Avoiding an explosion by tossing a bomb out of your van that was planted there by a competing lodge. Cutthroat capitalism at its finest. Discovering who the group of robbers were by getting help from a guest called the Countess. This quick diversion just seemed kind of out of place and to serve no purpose other than randomness. Foiling the robbery that occurred after the soup was drugged, and when you're told there's a fresh pot of soup cooking for dinner, you opt for a candy bar. Attacked by the gray hawk and pushed off the mountain to your death. Finding out there was no Paiute Jinx, and that it was all just the work of a competing lodge trying to put Sadie out of business. But then Heidi shows you her scratch marks from the talons of the gray hawk. Successfully performing the ceremony to get rid of the rattlesnake rattle and causing the hawk to kill itself, ending the curse. Getting lost in the forest and being followed by the gray hawk until by the time you are finally found, you've lost your mind. 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 The Mystery of Echo Lodge is an okay entry in the series. There's certainly better books, but hey, I've definitely read worse ones. Like I mentioned, the story about the curse is a bit more interesting than the storyline about working with Heidi, but overall, yeah, there's better stuff in this series to check out. The artwork by Paul Granger, credited under his real name on this one, is good stuff. Some of the pictures crack me up, like this crazed shaman guy threatening a little girl with a knife. What a hoot. Anyway, that's it. Do us both a favor and watch one of the other videos, and I'll go read another one of these books.